We're 3 YCSs in, and now I get to propose the question, what if we hit Albaz? Well, what do you think? Don't be like 30% of people that have not smashed the crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you can be one of the 60% that's going to roast me in this video. We are 3 YCSs down at this point in time. Now you got to ask yourself, oh no, Aluber reprint? Oh no. You know, you've looked at these tournament results. 5% of you guys, for some reason, still think that Albaz is an irrelevant deck, which I don't know what log you're living under, but I've uploaded how many tournament result videos at this point in time, and you've seen Despia is so far ahead of the rest of the meta. Thanks, Brave Package. All right. And like I said, there's still going to be 1 or 2 people that are going to comment and go, no, Despia is not a broken deck. I beat it with ABC every week, Robbie. God. The only other counter example of this I can have is, you know, not having a good Despia player at locals, and if you just have like 1 or 2 branded players at locals, for example here, yeah, you might beat them every week, but that doesn't mean that the deck on a higher tier scale is not performing. So, disclaimer there. So, you can beat the 1 shit player at your locals every single week, but that does not, in fact, make you a better player. Words of wisdom with MCole40. So, I had this discussion with a few people last night, and we were like, well, you know, what are the odds of them looking at Aluber and going, man, you looking mighty breedable and submissible today, Aluber. It'd be a real shame if we blew you up on the ban list. Now, the reason why I bring this up is we don't know when or where or what pipeline this ban list is going to pop out of. Papa Konami took the ban list date away from us because we were being rowdy and anxious on all their posts. Yeah, who would have guessed? So why do I look at Aluber and say, wow, you know, like, are we gonna blow this thing up or what? Well, if you remember a long time ago when Zodiac was around and that deck was terrorizing up and down for a very long time, Konami reprinted everything in the tins. And then you got everybody that bought all the tins, had a fun time with it. 2 weeks after those tins came out, boom! We lost Zodiac on the ban list. Now everybody and their mother was like, yeah, I'm not surprised about that. The deck had 4 months of experience. You know another similar example to that? Firewall Dragon. Firewall Dragon got its reprint. Mega Tins. They blew it up on that list. So many players were sad. They lost money. They also, you know, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's looking mighty similar to me, partner. The only difference here is it's that they're ghosts from the past this time and not them they're Megatins. So as you're settling up here and you're looking at these large amounts of Alubers being pulled out of these tins, you might want to step back here and go, oh, Konami wouldn't ban Aluber, or they wouldn't put it to 1. They wouldn't do anything to hurt those ghosts from the past sales, would they? Oh, well, 2 weeks after product's done, distros washed their hands with it. Konami sold out on the distro level. They don't care. Product has changed hands. We've done it. It's all in the player base's hands now. We can put Aluber to 1 at that point. Well, you're like, well, Rob, you're a fucking full of dog water here. There's no way Konami's going to look at Aluber or anything else in that deck, and they're not going to touch it because it's too new. Oh my god. Okay. Why have we had 3 YCSs as of late, with Despia being headliners here post-structure deck? Why is this deck looking so much further ahead of everything else here? What's the point of a ban list if we're just going to check the old format problems? Oh yeah, cool, we can ban Scythe. That's fantastic. Great. You know, we can clean up Dag to Scythe. Sure. We can go put Doodle to 1 and fix Praying Kids. Okay, that's our list. Congratulations. You hurt the worst, the other decks in the format. You just made Despia even better. That's why when you look at this list, up and coming here, you've got to look at Despia and you've got to be like, well, there's got to be some sort of consistent hit to this. You could be like, oh, well, you know, we can just slap the old, yeah, you know what I'm going to say, the old Rite of Armesia package. We can semi-limit it. We can get those things. Konami wouldn't want to hurt sales. They can ban Griffin Rider. You got a legal knight coming down the pipeline here. It means you want to buy some Dimension Force, right? All right, well, what else can we do? Semi-limit Rite of Armesia? I mean, you could put Water Enchantress to leave it at 3, put Rite of Armesia to 1. But you didn't think about that one. You ban Faithful Adventure. There goes the package. You know, looking at those two choices, putting Aluber to 1 seems way easier than that. Well, you know, there are some other choices here. Now, the big one here is Branded Opening. And this was another one that we kind of like bounced around is straight putting Opening to 1 does not kill the deck whatsoever. It is a massive consistency hit for sure. It brings the deck's power scaling down from, oh crap, I'm going to decimate you, down to a nice, acceptable, I opened the opening. That also hurts the consistency that you've got built into the deck with the Brave package. All right, if you cut that off, well, players going to want to look at triple Aluber and go, all right, well, I'm about to play this thing. That's kind of one of the big advantages of this deck is when you got 6 Alubers in your deck, 5 if you're playing the Brave package, because God knows you're just going to cut one of those things because, you know, it conflicts with the Brave package. Opening is probably the most powerful option available to this deck. And it's like not even like fair on like the scaling. Like you get to go ahead and just search your deck. Oh, and then you also get the protection clause. Well, you know, the card hasn't been reprinted yet, sure. But the card was only a super rare in its first initial printing, which is why I proposed the question to you. If Aluber does not look like the target here, and Konami wouldn't want to recreate those 2 mistakes of the past, right? Zoodiac and Firewall didn't forget. I'm sure that they want some revenge of some sort along the way here, but once again, we'll just revisit here. You know, Brave hit in some way, some sort of hit to, you know, the Brave package, or excuse me, to Aluber. Probably not going to happen as much as I want it to, and as much as I think putting Aluber to 1 becomes the more appropriate thing. Well, if you put Aluber to 1, here's another interesting thing. It means the 3 Branded Openings, 2 of them probably become dead in the deck, unless you're going to try to summon out Tragedy. And this was something else I also brought up. You could put Tragedy to 1. That'd be a real tragedy, no pun intended there. Tragedy is like your sub-extender / resetter for the fusion spell, which is pretty much what the deck does. You'd force the deck to kind of go down a different pipeline, and then you'd be cutting off some of its fusion resources, which, once again, also doesn't seem like a bad idea. But what if you looked at Branded in red? You know, a recurable spell card that gives you back a monster from the graveyard, and then also gives the ability to perform that fusion summon during the opponent's turn. Well, that also looks like a mighty good target. Out of everything that I've looked at in the Branded decks, Patchwork doesn't seem very good. Edgimp doesn't seem very good in terms of decks. I mean, I don't think they're going to go after anything in the structure deck at this point in time. The only stuff that looks really, really acceptable at this point in time is we're going to take the hit, we're going to go after Aluber, or we're going to look at Branded in red, and we're going to look at Branded Opening as both optional targets, because hitting either of those cards doesn't hurt the immediate sell value of Dawn. Alright, they couldn't get upgrades later on because, you can dump them in the tins as ultras, okay. I mean, those aren't necessarily selling points, you're just slight upgrading cards along the way. And that's where you're going to ask yourself, it's worth it. And, on the sub note here, I think Tragedy also looks like a good potential. There's a lot of things in the current build that Konami can take a look at and clean up based on the data of, all of the YCSs at this point in time. They've got an idea of what they're doing. Alright? And you have Dimension Force down the pipeline here, and you have even worse things to worry about coming high splice than this. So, this list doesn't necessarily need to be a big list. It just, once again, needs to address the correct problems to see things. But depending on how things go, well, Branded Eldritch might just come out of the woodwork and go, "Hi guys, I'm back." Can you imagine? I would be so disappointed if that ends up being the case. Please leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button as per usual, so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you. ya!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.